For today's episode, I want to share with you the number one most common feedback that I give during my paid copy reviews. We're talking $1,000 or more to have me look at your copy for an hour and then get on the phone for an hour and talk to you about my thoughts, my feedback, my recommendations for improvement. And, this is the most common feedback that I give during these sessions. And I'm going to give it to you in today's episode to help you write better sales and marketing copy. No matter the audience, no matter the topic, no matter the offer, no matter the media choices, no matter how long or short your copy is going to be, this is something that comes up over and over and over and over again, especially longer copy, but definitely short copy too. So this client booked one copy review a few weeks ago. I gave them this feedback, and then they booked another copy review to review the updated version of the copy, and it was night and day, just huge difference, so much better. And now I'm going to give this advice to you if you're a copywriter or work with copywriters to create marketing for your business, for your client business. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can get more content like this. I'll reveal my feedback in this episode.
These are the proven direct response marketing, copywriting, and entrepreneurship success strategies you can use today to write your own ticket and create the life you want. I am Roy Furr, and this is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Now, here's today's breakthrough.
All right, today's episode, as usual, is sponsored by yours truly. That's me. I'm going to include actually two links. It's a double sponsor episode. I'm going to include, number one, a link to the hot seat copy reviews offer page that I have. So this episode's coming out on October 6th. My next hot seat copy review for BTMS Insiders members is going to be on October 13th. This is an opportunity where, for the cost of normal BTMS Insiders membership, you can also hop on the line and have me review your copy as part of these monthly calls. Now, it's not quite the same as the one-on-one copy review, but it is an opportunity for me to give you kind of a first level feedback on the copy that you've written, and it's included with BTMS Insiders membership, plus an entire back catalog of access to copy reviews where I've reviewed other people's copy, and importantly, given advice about how to be a better copywriter, how to write better copy outside of that particular piece of copy. So those lessons can be some of the most powerful that I deliver in BTMS Insiders, and I'll include a link in the description to that. I will also include a link if you would prefer a private copy review. Obviously, it's a very different service, very different price point, but I'll include a link to book a private copy review with me if you would like to get a spot on my calendar for that. All right, so what is this number one most common, most important piece of feedback that I consistently give throughout copy reviews? Here's the copy review advice that I give over and over again. And for a little bit of context, the copy is already written. So I'm seeing what is somewhere close to finished copy when I'm giving this. I say, take what you've written, summarize each section in what you've written into a key idea, the main thing you're trying to get across, whether it's like that paragraph or, 2 or 3 paragraphs, half a page, whatever it is, right? Summarize each section into a key idea that you're trying to get across. Copy that summary, all of those summaries of all the sections, into an outline. And then aside from the copy, look at the outline. Just look at the outline. I was trying to get across this point first, and then this point, and this point, and this point, and this point. And ask yourself, does this make sense? Does this flow logically? Each individual point in the outline, is it helping my case? Is it where it needs to be? Is it moving the sale forward? Is it on message? Is it a distraction, right? And so you set aside the copy that you've written, and you instead look at the outline of what you were trying to do with each segment of the copy. And pretty much whenever I recommend this little exercise here, the answer is no, it's not on message. That outline does not flow. That outline does not make a whole lot of sense at all. The outline is a complete mess, right? A ton of copy that is written does not have structure. It does not have good structure. It's a mess. And when that happens, the prospect does not stay engaged with your message. And your conversion rate, your leads, customers, sales, profits generated from your copy will suffer. If your prospect gets confused halfway through, or if they get disengaged because you're all over the place, they will not buy. If you're able to hold their attention all the way through, that's what it takes to get them to buy. And that typically is going to come through copy that is written very much in this way, where it is structured with an outline that makes sense. And then that outline is the skeleton, and you flesh it out, and you have copy that sings off the page, right? Quick reminder here, this lesson was in my interview with David Deutsch. He has made over $1 billion in sales with his copy because he applies this type of thinking. I'll include a link in the description to my interview with David. But like the exercise that he gave in that episode, in that interview, was you take great copy. You look at, some great ad sales letter, VSL, whatever. You take that copy. You analyze it in the way that I explained, where you say, what's the copywriter trying to do with this segment, this segment, this segment, this segment? And you come up with an outline of the copy based on that. And then David's exercise was go write your own version of that copy and have your own version, and you can compare it side by side with the original version. And you can see like, oh, this is how I did it. This is how they did it. Okay, that's interesting how we did it differently. And you can learn from what they did versus what you did. And it's an opportunity to improve. But importantly, and the point that I made with David was that thinking of being able to break down copy and say, this is what this segment needs to do. This is what this segment. Every great copywriter that I know does that type of thinking. And copy suffers when you don't do that type of thinking. So if your copy needs this feedback, how do you fix it? Like I brought you up to the point of, okay, try to outline what you have and figure out if it makes sense. So number one, like do what I recommend. Like do the outline of the copy that you've already written. If you've written copy and it's just feels like a little bit of a mess, it probably is a much bigger mess than you want to admit. So do what I recommend. Make that outline based on your current copy. And then take that outline that you just made and edit that. Don't go back and edit the copy yet. Edit that outline to fit what you're trying to accomplish, how you're trying to convey the message. Edit it for clarity of message, for simplicity of message. You want it to be like a simple structure, right? Edit for logical flow. Does it flow logically? Does one point build on the next? Edit for the general like deep structure of the copy. Like that's taught in my high velocity copywriting program. I'm going to end up with a few links with this episode. I'll make sure there's a link to high velocity copywriting. That's also part of BTMS Insiders. So you can sign up for the hot seat copy reviews and you can get access to my flagship copywriting training. Back to the outline and the editing that we're doing here. You get the deep structure right. Make sure you remove anything extra, right? Any extra points that were a diversion, remove those and fill in the gaps with anything that seems to be missing when you are able to zoom out and look at it from the outline level. And so you had the old copy, and then you had the old outline, and then you have the new outline. And so now you need to restructure your copy with the new outline. So use what you can. Don't be afraid to rewrite. Oftentimes rewriting is much faster than writing that original draft. And so even though this might feel like, oh, geez, I need to basically rewrite the whole thing, if you pull what you can from the old one into the new one based on this new structure, and then you do a bunch of editing, which is what rewriting can be, do a bunch of editing, it can be what you need to do to get that copy to be just so much better. And if you want to know how to write better copy next time using the same type of thinking, here's the basic process. And I was just recommending this to somebody else who's working with me on a project. Capture that lead idea as soon as possible. You have an idea for like what's going to be exciting for the prospect, what message you want to get across, how you want to capture the prospect's attention and get them, engage with you so that you can present your pitch. Well, capture your lead idea, your headline, your lead, your first few minutes if it's a script, or your first couple hundred words, maybe first 1,000 words if it's a text on page sales letter. Just capture that idea as soon as possible. Just take the energy and the excitement that comes from, oh, I got an idea for how to do this, and jot it down. And if the first one doesn't really resonate or you're struggling too much with it, come up with another one and capture that as soon as possible, right? But once you have that lead idea, once you have the intro to your message, then make sure you outline your pitch and make sure that you have a good structure of what your pitch needs to be. This is your outline. You can also think of it, I came up with this metaphor actually in a call earlier today. Think about it like a painter who might actually do some sketching on the canvas. And so it's a really rough sketch and they can see kind of the how the picture is going to come together, right? And they put the sketch on the canvas. And then they start to add in details and they start to add in layers, and there's layers of paint over it. Well, just sketch the pitch part of your promotion, which is the point where you get up to where you're really trying to make the offer, right? The details of the offer. We're not getting there yet. We're getting to the pitch. How do I grab their attention? How do I build their interest in my message? Like, what promise am I making? How do I convert that into a desire for whatever solution I'm going to provide for them? And like, we could go much deeper into that. That's what's in high velocity copywriting. But we've captured the lead idea. We've outlined the pitch. We may need to go back and do some editing to the lead based on what we have at this point. Maybe not, I don't know. But we captured the lead idea. We outlined the pitch. Then we write the pitch. So all the way up to the point where we're really like, and here is the product that you need to buy, right? We write that point. Then we edit from the lead all the way down to the end of the pitch and make sure that's really like, by the end of the pitch, my goal is always to have someone to the point where they're like, yeah, I don't care what this person has to sell me. I want to buy it, right? I don't care if this is going to cost $10,000, $50,000. I want to buy it, right? Just tell me what it is and how I can buy it. That's my goal by the end of the pitch. And then you have the pitch in place and you get to the introduction of the offer. Then it's a good time to outline the offer. And there's lots of ways that you can structure a direct response offer, but in general, there's going to be some things like, here's why you should get it. Here's what you get. Here's the price. Here's why that's such a good deal. All those things, here's where the bonuses are, etc. But yeah, outline the offer. That's usually much simpler than outlining the pitch because offers are pretty straightforward. Offers are offers, right? And then you write the offer section and then you edit the offer section. And so at this point, we had the lead idea, we outlined the pitch, we wrote the pitch, we edited the pitch, we added that outline of the offer. Below that, we wrote the offer, we edited the offer. And then at that point, you should have a pretty complete draft of your copy. You should have pretty solid copy at that point. And don't be afraid to get help if you need it. I often find with copy reviews that I wish that I was working with the copywriter from the very beginning of the project, so it can be helpful to get help early. Like that would be more like coaching and less like a single copy review. But you can get help early. You can get help in the middle, like if you're partway through. Oftentimes my copy reviews with Perry Marshall are, maybe 75% of the way through writing the copy, and sometimes we do reorganizations like this. I mean, you get help when it feels appropriate on the project, or you can get help late, but you're more likely to run into a situation where you're doing a significant rewrite. Still, that's better than sending out copy and having it flop and giving up and feeling like a failure. So that's how you write better copy next time. Again, it's mostly based on this idea that if you can get the structure down first, your copy is going to be much better in the end. So your call to actions from today's episode. Remember, hot seat copy reviews or booking a private copy review with me. It's one of the fastest ways to write better copy, to learn to write better copy, to improve your current copy, is to just have somebody else who has experience get their eyes on your copy and tell you how to make it better. And so check the link in the description to the next hot seat copy review. And if you'd like to book a private copy review with me, you can check that link too. Also, I will include a link to high velocity copywriting. Again, hot seat copy reviews, high velocity copywriting. That's just scratching the surface, but they're both a part of the BTMS Insiders membership, where you pay one low monthly fee. You get instant streaming access to everything. And I will also include a link to my interview with billion-dollar copywriter David Deutsch. That's all in the description. Check it out. I'm Roy for this Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get more content like this delivered to you. And I'll catch you again in the next episode. See you soon.
Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.